Hello? It's time. Oh, yeah, it's time to talk about this. It's amazing that sometimes, people make promises that they didn't keep. I'm going to do this. Don't do it. I'm going to get you this. They don't get it. I'm going to give you a call. Never call. Oh, I'll call you right back. They don't call you right back. We're going to do this. We got plans for this. You tired of seeing that? We're going to give you this. Never happens. I ran across a What Culture website. No, I was in a hospital, waiting on my name to be called. I'm just going through my phone and I ran across it. And I mean the clinic, not the hospital. And waiting for my name to be called. And I'm just fucking with my phone and shit. And then I ran across it. And it was entitled 7 Things AEW Promised, but they didn't keep. Or they didn't see the light, So I'm gonna go through the ones who I didn't take down all 7. I just took down the ones that caught my eye, So here goes. The first one that caught my eye was no Oriental Wrestling Entertainment talent. It's a Chinese promotion. I've heard about them before. It's a Chinese promotion. I'm assuming they have great talent. And AEW was said to have some type of arrangement where some of their talent will appear on the Dynamite and perform. Get that recognition, get that fame, get that American fame, and European fame. You know what I'm saying? Any country that watches Dynamite, they can see these guys and gals from China. Chinese wrestlers. Be fucking great, I thought that was a pretty cool thing. However, that never came to pass. It never happened. We ain't seen a single talent. Another one was they said the men and women would be like WCW cruiserweights. Nope. In fact, my goal would be to make them better than the WCW cruiserweights. But that's just me. I mean, the women's roster, I've constantly seen people commenting there talking about how they're not up to par. They kind of... I agree. I mean, like I said, the wrestling is fucking fantastic. They just doesn't have any gripping character development, gripping storylines involving these women. I'm going to go a little bit into more about that later on. Yeah, they promised no ridiculous storytelling. They promised that. Some of the storylines are pretty on a ridiculous side. Like for one, a chick plays as an alien. 2 males playing as butchers, cutting meat in vignettes. The Dark Order, the Nightmare Collective, they just there. It's like, and people will say these characters are silly because this is what I took from it. Like let's take the alien chick for example. I think her name is Statlander. I keep forgetting her fucking first name. I hope I'm saying her last name right. It's Statlander. Her last name is Statlander. I mean, she's I saw her wrestle a couple of matches. She's pretty good. I mean, she's playing this chick who is supposed to be an ETS terrestrial or some shit, alien. And people see that as a ridiculous character on that WWE shit for a reason. I'm thinking it's because her character has no depth. Why does she feel that she's an alien? We don't want to make her a literal fucking alien that came from outer space and shit, and took on a human form. That's fucking silly. We can say, yeah, she's fucking human. We know that. Everybody knows she's fucking human. She's born out of a fucking woman, a womb, and she's human. However, we have to give her a little depth in the story as why she's acting like that. Maybe she grew up as an outcast. Maybe she got teased in school, bullied. Or maybe she just felt she's different. Not like on an ego sort of way, like I'm better than you. She just feels she stands out from other humans. Or other people, I should say. So she goes on with this moniker, I'm an alien. I might as well be an extraterrestrial. I am different. I come from a different mold than you. There's nobody else like me. Type of shit. You can make it a metaphor why she feels that way. You know, and the butchers, that's a stupid, like I said, it's silly. And on something because they have no depth, these fucking butchers. Why are they butchers? Can you incorporate that as to why they want to be champions? You know, that's why I seen it silly. Like I said, they have no depth. You have to give these characters, you have to give us a reason. You have to make us believe why they're like that. Why they're called, why is Statlander called an alien? You know, for example, like I'm going back to that. Why are these guys called the butchers? Why? You know, so it's the same thing with the Dark Order and Nightmare Collective. You know, it's like they just there, they appear and they leave. It's like, can you give us like some background on each member? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why did they join the move? Why is the Dark Order the best fucking movement or stable in wrestling history? Why is a Nightmare Collective? Why you should be want to be a member of the Nightmare Collective? You know what I'm saying? What are their goals? You know, we have to spread this shit out. That's why they're seen as ridiculous. That's why they're seen as an eye roll. That was the problem. In fact, that is the problem with WWE. That's why nobody cares. That's why nobody really cares about these fucking characters in WWE. You say you can't care about nobody you don't know shit about them. You can't. Okay, moving on. Went from being free TV in the UK to being on Fight TV for a fee after the disappointing ITV4 showing of the show not live, but 4 days after airing in the US on Sunday mornings. They promised the UK, we'll give you free TV. All you can do is turn it on. We're going to let you know the channel and bam, you don't got to pay for shit. But that changed. Everything just started to change. I mean, shit, it's ridiculous about, it was showing the show not live, but 4 days after the show was live in the US on Sunday mornings? What the fuck? Wow. And Fight TV, they want a fee for that. And that was after ITV4's showing the show. They're right, not live. So you can watch it on Fight TV, you know what I'm saying, for a fee. I mean, come on. And ITV14 was regularly missing the mark for live air shows. And whenever they did show the live air shows, it was about a day after it went live. So it was the next day you got to see it on the network. That's if they remember to show it. So that's what missing the mark means. And I wrote it just like they said. They regularly miss the mark. Regular. Man. Yeah, Focus Women's Wrestling. I mean, a lot of people feel it. Women's wrestling and all that, great. I disagree. I think it's on par with the men. I disagree, but, could it be better? There's always room for improvement. I mean, come on. So, I mean, it looks 10 times better than Raw and SmackDown's women's wrestling, I'll tell you that. Shit. So I guess some people feel that they failed on Focus Women's Wrestling. And like I said before, it's lack of character development and appearances along with promos. So if you barely see these women and you don't really see no promos, there's really no character development. I mean, they may perform like a motherfucker in the ring. I mean, they may perform great in the ring, rather. But after a while, it's gonna be like, but it's a different story if you know who the fuck is wrestling. You know the background. You're invested in this character. You know what I'm saying? And the matches will be fucking great. Cause you know what they went through before the match. If you want them to succeed, even if you don't like them, it's still gonna be a good match because you want them to lose. That's the same thing with the men. Wrestling lacks that. I mean, AEW has it with Jon Moxley versus Jericho. People are invested in that because they got a good build up. That's the thing that they fucking are not focusing on is proper build up. Wrestling today as a whole, it's like you gotta build up is very fucking important. So, yeah. So moving on. People say AEW claim it's gonna have a sports feel, a real sports feel. It's not gonna be silly and shit. At first I was like disagreeing with it. And I don't know. Now. It's like it's a NXT is said to have more of a real sports feel than AEW does. I went from saying that's bullshit to saying it's pretty much neck and neck. Because ever since now, I was watching some NXT matches. I mean, watching more of them and really paying attention. And then I was watching some AEW matches. And I'm like, no, it's pretty much neck and neck. AEW is a little more intense in the ring than NXT. A little bit. That's what I came to the conclusion of. So I say it's neck and neck with that. So, well, that's it for my notes. That's everything. I mean, I pretty much repeated myself what I said in my earlier videos anyway, pretty much. Come to think of it. But, yeah, I mean, there's always room for improvement, and AEW, they need to really work on the storytelling. They really do. Like I said before, the wrestling is spot on, but the storytelling is lacking. If there's no fucking character depth or no interest, that you don't care about no fucking wrestling match. You're not gonna give a fuck at the end of the day. They pull out some good moves and shit, but goddamn, when the match is over, I'm like, oh, that was a good match, but it's just like movies, man. It's like I was thinking about this earlier. It's like, how often do people walk out of a fucking movie theater? If you even bother to go to a movie theater. How many people would walk out that motherfucker thinking about the characters for days? Thinking about like, ooh, that character was so fucking awesome. you know, just having in their mind like, oh, I can't wait for a sequel. I wonder if they're gonna make a sequel. If there's no cliffhanger in the movie, they're like, damn, I should make a sequel. I would love to see more development on this character. I just can't get off my mind. It's just in the back of your fucking mind and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or do you walk out of a movie and say, oh, I like the lights and the sounds and the music and the and 2 days later you're like, you forget all about it. Until it's brought to your attention again. You may see a billboard, an ad for the movie that you saw 2 days ago, and you remember it again. Oh yeah, good movie. That's it. I'm thinking it's B. The B scenario, most likely. So yeah, it's the same thing with wrestling. How often do people walk out of the arena thinking about the story that they saw, or when the wrestling show is over on the TV, they turn off the TV or do something else, and they continue to think about the storylines and the characters? I don't think that's often. And I gotta say, in AEW, I don't think it's as often as it should be, as it could be, you know. But, hey, I mean, I know, I'm speaking for myself, I get a whole different experience watching AEW as opposed to WWE, you know, I do. You know, so... And unlike WWE, when I was through watching AEW, I still think about the characters, the story development. Only those characters that are given death on the show. I only think about those. It's like for example, I like I'm trying to give an example. Statlander, the alien chick. But once it's over, I'm not thinking about her no more. I'm barely thinking about her because she has no depth to her character. It's like they started writing for her, and then they just said, fuck it. They just put her in the ring, put her in matches and shit. You know, it's like I like that New Zealand chick that wrestled in Mexico for many years. What's her name? The one who always losing and shit. Can't think of her fucking name right now. I think she has a lot of potential to be a great heel. But once it's over, it's like, It's like I'm watching WWE again. You know, it's like, no. But yeah, this is it for me. This is Y Chromosome. Signing out. Peace and love.